of this has already been, I guess, considered, but the next thing we can talk about is, next steps for the UFC 213 winners and the Ultimate Fighter finale on, who they should fight next. Obviously, I guess we could say Robert Whittaker, he should fight Michael Bisping. That just makes sense for predictions of who you get next. But, and obviously the Nunes fight should be, hopefully it is, will be rescheduled and actually take place. But Justin Gaethje and Alistair Overeem, they won their fights. I heard some rumors for Justin Gaethje, but who do you think Overeem should have next?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Did he get Stipe? Like, it wasn't a great performance, but he won. And winning. He beat
that heavyweight division is a little thin, man. I'm still salty personally about Junior Dos Santos getting knocked out down. That fight was so overdue, and that was a terrible performance. I almost want to see that one go back. But man,
actually, that's what I'm saying, because JDS in September is supposed to, Junior Dos Santos is supposed to fight Francis Ngannou, and if he got knocked out by Stipe, and Kane busted up JDS. He's had a lot of concussions, man. Ngannou,
he's not looking too good.
Like if Ngannou puts on an impressive performance, it might be like, Overeem, chill out. We might want to step up Ngannou and have him, fight for the belt, and you can get whoever. Or hopefully, what I'm praying, because this is another guy that, where has he been? Hopefully Cain Velasquez can come back, because that's obviously probably Stipe's only, at this time, true test.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what Cain is another one. He's got the Nurmagomedov syndrome. He can't stay healthy. I don't get it. He's the only person I can say has gotten over the bug is Anthony Pettis. He fought. It was good to see him back. But Cain Velasquez, I mean, I think he runs through Alistar. But considering how long he's been out, who knows, man? The way he looked in his last few fights was not like he kind of looked like a shell of himself in comparison to when he first jumped onto the scene. So it's tough to say, but that would be an interesting matchup to see. It's like I said, man, heavyweight division is so thin. So who are you gonna pick besides anybody who's already booked for a fight? Alistar's who would probably sit out and catch a winner between JDS, I mean, who else? Stefan Struve. There's not too many matches that are intriguing that are going to make fans go crazy. Like that. I was going to say, Derek the Beast. He just lost too. He just lost, so it's not too intriguing to see him. I mean, nobody wants to see Travis Brown fight anymore.
Oh
so it's
my
like,
gosh, man!
Who are you going to call?
Him to go to Bellator. Just go make babies with Rousey, man. Like, you're done.
He's been done for a while. He's another one who I honestly, man, when he jumped on the scene, I honestly thought that he was going to be the man. And he tore his leg in a fight and was never the same.
Yeah, he was like 6'7", real mobile. I go, this guy's next up, man. And then I don't know what happened. And he literally went, like, downhill fast. I was like, maybe I can blame Edmund when he joined Ronda Rousey's camp, but now he switched camps. So, like, you can't blame him anymore. And when he got choked out by that guy, I don't care what people say. It didn't really look like that hard of a choke to defend. It looked like he just kind of, like, just gave up and was like, all right, I'm done.
I don't know if he's got it. He's you know who he should fight? Brendan Schaub. That's who he should fight. Him and Brendan Schaub would make for a great, terrible fight. They'd probably knock each other out. It'd be the next double knockout.
Yeah. Anything you're talking about on the fighter and the kid. Holy crap. That was like his last win. Freaking Brendan Schaub. Oh, my gosh. But, I guess with that, we can talk about the news from last week, July 8th to today, the 16th. And I guess one of the big things, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, that they reported was kind of impressive. A big signing for Bellator. They signed, I think it was the number 4 fighter in the world, Gegard Mousasi. What do you think about that signing, huh?
Hey, Bellator's always getting the best available that's not in the UFC. Guys who could still fight, who aren't going to compete as much in the UFC. Guys who are tired of that shitty Reebok contract that they got.
Right.
I mean, not for nothing. That's a lot of they've gotten some good fighters who could still compete in the UFC. Rory McDonald went over there. There's a lot of people who would still kick ass in the UFC. But hey, you know, like I said, the way they're running things over there is, hey man, they don't book who's good. They book who's popular. Shout out to Cortez.
Yeah, they remind me like you know, the old school WCW. They would just take like whomever from WWF or something.
They do.
All right, Macho Man, come over here. All right, Hulk Hogan. All right, we'll take you. But they're getting better, man.
Monday Night Wars.
Ryan Peter, Gegard Mousasi, Lorenz Larkin came over. He's still in his prime too, although he lost. You know, the UFC might need to watch out in a couple of years. I don't know, man. And I don't hear any bad things about Scott Coker, the president of Bellator. Everyone throws Dana White on the bus sometimes, but sheesh.
Hey, man, I've been telling a lot of people that the UFC, honestly, Conor McGregor kind of screwed the game up. He came in and he's super marketable, and it went from really who was top, who was best, who fought who beat who, to who marketed themselves. Not even Chael Sonnen made that difference, and he talked himself into a title shot. But that didn't change the game. Conor McGregor came in and moved numbers. And as soon as that happened, it went away from everything. And then on top of it, that Reebok contract, man, it's great for the UFC, huge moneymaker. It's awesome because it makes them look super official, which is what we all want as fans. But for the fighters, man, you know how much money they're losing out from being able to have all those tags on their shorts. And it's just like, that's another reason why they're jumping ship. A lot of them, most of the time. Yeah. Almost every fighter, even if that's not their main reason, that's what they've said. I'm tired of it. I'm not making as much money. Their first fight, they're talking about how awesome it was to have their sponsors back, or X, Y, and Z in terms of who they're able to make money with, as opposed to just Reebok giving them, $1,000 for having the same outfit that if you're, Conor McGregor, you're getting, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for the same shit just because you talked your way to the championship. Meanwhile, the number 3 guy, or you have people like Cody Garbrandt, who comes out of nowhere, starts knocking people out, and you look at his contract with Reebok, and until that one's up, they restructure. It's like you can't make money in there.
And I'm sorry, Reebok, but the uniforms don't look that great. And they don't look that great. But, to the high-profile guys, the top guys, they're losing a lot by not having their own sponsors. Maybe to the lower guys on the prelims and the undercards, who might not, really, the sponsor might not care about that. Maybe Reebok freaking helps them, but that is something Gegard Mousasi mentioned with signing with Bellator. He goes, having my own sponsors and things like that, having that, like, extra income back is a reason why I kind of, decided to part ways with the UFC. So it is something that they have to look into. But to kind of beeline with what you were saying initially, I'm going to just skip over and get to it. The main big thing of this past week was the 4-city worldwide tour with the good old boxing match between Conor McGregor and Floyd Money Mayweather on August 6th. So how did you think they do? It was a unique type of presser. Do you think people will tune in? He's predicting it's going to sell more pay-per-views than Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. 1791. What's your take, my man? How was it?
I think it's hilarious as fuck, man. It is awesome. It is probably the most entertaining thing in terms of it. Now, everyone's going to get super annoyed with it because, of course, it's getting drained down everyone's throat. Every channel you turn to, no matter if it's freaking ESPN, Fox, anywhere. You look,
Showtime.
they're talking about the fight. You're hearing all over about it. So, of course, they're it's going to get watered down eventually. But the material that's coming for it, the sound bites that are coming are hilarious. And it's funny because you look back, and I remember watching boxing, and I'm talking about like when I was a real little kid. And, you see Mike Tyson talking shit about eating people's children. You see Mike Tyson calling reporters faggots. And he's like, oh, man, all this shit. And now everyone's all up in arms because these two guys are doing the same shit. They're promoting fights. They're race trafficking, all of it. And it's like, of course, that's what – this happens all the time. It's new because it's into all the masses. It's super mainstream. It's new to so many people. But, man, it's like people are getting super overly offended, and I just think it's hilarious. You got Floyd Mayweather used to run out. He fights every damn May 5th. He fights on Cinco de Mayo all the time.
Yeah, there's Cinco de Mayo in September.
Dude, he fights a damn Cinco de Mayo all the time. And why? Because he likes to dibble in the race trafficking, makes, toe the line, and basically pushes people's edges. And it's funny. And, of course, I think it's kind of hilarious that people are going crazy over their
it was entertaining.
Conor McGregor's
what his suit?
What did he say? He said no, not even his suit. He said oh, I offended a lot of people.
Oh, the one in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn?
Yeah, in Brooklyn.
Being
and
black.
I offended a lot of people with me, but I said, but I'm half black.
Don't you know I'm half black? What do you mean, Conor? Oh, below the belly button.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was entertaining, man.
I think it's funny. I do think it's a mockery of hell of the sport, though. That's the one thing. It's like I kind of got to play both fences here. And, I mean, call it what you want. I'll play both fences. I don't care.
Do you think he's got a chance?
I hate that. Hell no, he does not have a chance. Conor McGregor,
I'm almost starting to believe the hype, man. I don't know what it is. Like, I think, obviously, if you have any brains in your body, he shouldn't last any rounds. But he's bigger. Mayweather
at the end of the day,
talking about being an old man. I was like, that's self-defeating behavior. And honestly, I think Conor really believes like he's going to win. Like, I honestly think he you should, but I don't know, man.
I'll give Conor that. He's got the right type of confidence where, of course, granted, I mean, in his press conferences, and that's for the show, he's an asshole, but that's the role that he plays. But he's got the right confidence. He goes in there, he visualizes what he's going to do, and he wins. But, I mean, you're talking about, granted, Floyd's getting up there in age. He's pretty old. He hasn't fought in a long time. I'll give all that. But you're talking about a world-class boxer against a guy who's an MMA fighter, has some kickboxing, and on top of the fact that he has to train himself to not lift his legs to throw a kick and not go for a takedown when they clinch, on top of the fact that he has to mentally train for that while being trained in a completely different sport, because it's not like a boxer transitioning to MMA. A boxer transitioning to MMA would still lose. That's not the problem. He'll definitely still lose. But it's just a matter of you don't have to train yourself to not go for a takedown. You clinch, you can go for a takedown, even though you probably don't want to, because you're going to get manhandled on the ground being only a boxer. It's a completely mental different situation. And then on top of that, if he's getting handled like that by mediocre boxers, and not necessarily mediocre boxers, but just the professional boxers that he's training with are getting the upper hand. And then Nate Diaz, when they stood up, and Nate Diaz is somebody who's got some great boxing, he handled him standing up. His boxing, his length, his jab, everything was landing way better than what Conor had. And Conor's got the speed, the youth, and the mental. That's definitely. I'll
that's
give him
for
that,
sure.
But
I think
Floyd
sure
handles
him. Conor's he's like the best boxer in MMA. But
he's not. He's definitely
variety,
not.
And you understand it. But
it's too much money to say no. That's all it is. Too much money for them to say no.
true, and we can get into that because basically, yeah, you know, as far as monetarily wise, they're not going to lose out when it comes to money. So I think they just released it last week as well. The price tag for the pay-per-view, and I hate when they do that. They're like, it's $79.95, but that's for standard definition. If you want high def, it's $59.95. You think that's too high? Would you pay it, or are you just going to say, screw it, I'm going to go to like Hooters or something and watch it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to pay for it. I mean, if I get a couple people to come over, or I go over to somebody's and we all pitch in, that's one thing, but I feel like an asshole paying for it too, because I do hate the fact that they booked this fight because of everything that I was talking about during the show. But it's just like,
yeah,
I'm going to watch it. I'm lying to you if I say that I'm not going to watch it. So I'm definitely going to watch it. But $99 it's the right price. But as a fan, it's like, no, I'm not going to pay for it. I don't want to pay for it. As a fan, I hate the price, but
right, of course,
knowing the stature of the fight, if Mayweather and Pacquiao were 99, this makes as much sense, man. It's a circus act. The circus act should be more than the damn regular boxing matches. The regular boxing matches that are like that should have never been. Like, I was more pissed that Mayweather Pacquiao was 99. Because, like, that's that's just another boxing match. The best should be fighting the best. Right. When it comes to this is a circus show. Of course it should be $99.
That's my feeling as well. Because, I'm more into the MMA. I'm not too much into boxing, whether it's, old school boxing from back in the day. And this is all Mayweather Promotions, which basically means it's going to be a boxing card. If they had some UFC fights on there, threw some people in it to give them some spotlight, I consider it, but I really only care about this one match. I could care less about the undercard. I don't think anybody even knows who's on the undercard. They probably won't even release it. No one really cares. But, yeah, of course everyone's going to be tuning in to watch it. I'll probably go somewhere, like you're saying, and, avoid the 90, but I'll go somewhere to watch it.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's a good price. It's a good price business-wise and knowing the stature of the fight. As a fan, I would kick myself in the ass for buying it.
Yeah.